This is the result of many years of research. And in this study, we particularly focused on developing a drug that is inhibiting a protein called METL3. METL3 is a protein that we all have in our body, but in some of the cancers, including AML, including acute myeloid leukemia, the cancerous cells, the leukemia cells in our, in particular, they actually have higher levels of this protein. And this is how we prioritize this target compared to other targets that we have from the same protein family. It actually paid off because we showed that under a certain level of blocking of this protein, right? This is like detrimental, this is devastated for the cancer cells. However, for the normal cells, and especially for the stem cells, as we saw in the current study, the loss of this protein was, or the function of the protein was dispensable. It's the first such drug made for such protein, because if we can make drug for this protein, we can make drug for any potential other similar protein that acts through the same pathway. There are several next steps. The major next step for this drug is that an improved version of this drug, actually. The clinical candidate from Storm Therapeutics, our collaborators, is going to the clinic in 2022. They are starting clinical trials. It's going to start, as most of the clinical trials, in acute myeloid leukemia, in patients with refractory AML, with patients that they took chemotherapy or any other drug and they relapse and they don't respond anymore. We are not going to go anywhere near childhood AML yet, as it's expected. However, we are hoping that if the results are the ones that we are anticipating, this is actually the next step. One of the strongest effects that this drug has on particular AML cohorts is the one that is the childhood AML. And we have seen that AMLs that harboring mutations associated with childhood leukemia, we saw that our drug is affecting those cells in a very dramatic way. The clinical impact could be potentially very big. Of course, we need to wait to see how the outcome of the clinical trials. However, the effort of developing, a new anti-leukemia drug is giving a lot of hopes, right? And if we see even 1/3 of what we see in our preclinical models, we are talking about a drug that could potentially improve the quality of life, improve the lifespan of many patients. So Leukaemia UK was a pivotal, source of funding, and it provided me with, at the exact time, the exact amount of, help and support to finish important studies like this one, in an environment that is, very difficult in terms of funding nowadays. It provided me, this kind of boost, and it would be impossible to finish this without that funding. I will leave whether that is a breakthrough or not to others to say, but it's certainly a major step, because we are talking about a molecule that is first in class. It is the first, it's a new type of anti-cancer drug that will maybe we will give it to more than AML, to other cancers, but not only, we may give it to other diseases.